Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. On the daily chart, you can see it here, the situation hasn't changed at all. Bitcoin is moving sideways at the moment in a very healthy way, has reclaimed the 52k level. Absolutely no change at all on the daily time frame. Still watching here potentially for another high. First of all, to complete wave 3, it is possible here, if we just take a look at the daily time frame, that the third wave here in white, so the white count is our preferred primary scenario, and it is possible that the 54k level is the next, or the third wave could get to the 54k level before completing. Then we could get a 4 and a 5. Yeah, the third wave, however, because it already is quite extended, could already be finished, so it could finish a little early. I don't assume that until I get evidence for that. So at the moment the assumption would be that we're still in this white third wave, get maybe another high, then move down in wave 4, then move up in wave 5. And that is going to be my assumption and my preferred scenario until micro support levels break that I'm tracking on the 1 hour time frame. So this is the ideal scenario, my primary preferred scenario. What is the alternative? So if micro support levels break that I track, as I said, on the 1 hour time frame, spoiler alert, the key level here is 47k. So if the price breaks below that 47k level, comes down, breaks it, then at the breakout or breakdown point, it becomes very likely that we're going to follow the orange pathway. That is, on the daily time frame, not really an overall different scenario. I would still assume that we're going to move up further more directly, and the relevant support level on the daily time frame is here. This support range between 35k and 41.8k. It would simply mean that this wave 4 that presumably finished on the 23rd of January is still unfolding in a wider corrective pattern. So as you can see, it doesn't really change the scenario. It would simply just reset the wave 4 and mean that basically everything above the support area is no change of scenario on the daily time frame. It's just that the microstructure, how this correction unfolded, just changed. Okay, so it's just a change of the microstructure, but not a change of the overall trend and the overall scenario that we are in the white wave count. Because there are two scenarios on the daily I'm tracking overall. This yellow count, which topped here in an A wave on the 11th of January, or actually it would now be here. Yeah, so this would be an A wave, and we would see a pullback in a B wave. That's a different structure than this direct impulse structure in which this is a wave 4. So on the daily time frame, I'm not really bothered if the wave 4 finished or the wave 4 is still unfolding, as long as we're holding 35k, as long as we're holding the yellow support area. So I hope that's clear. Basically, I often try to visualize this by saying everything that happens above 35k, because the overall assumption on the daily chart doesn't change. Okay, the pathway to get to target might change, but the overall assumption doesn't change. So I often say that 35k, anything above that is just noise. Of course it is meaningful, lots of volatility, but technically speaking it's just noise. That depends on your time frame. Of course, if you're trading the 1 hour or 4 hour chart, it will matter. So that's sort of about that, and that white structure can take us to all-time highs basically. Now looking at the 1 hour chart, this is the structure that we've talked about. A second, go to the 1 hour chart. The detailed structure here, you can see that the wave 4 actually indeed bottomed on the 23rd of January. We had a wave 1 to the upside, we had a wave 2 to the downside, a wave 3 to the upside, as I said, could still be unfolding. Maybe it topped. Does it really matter? Not so much, as long as we're holding support, and then we should still get a 4-5 pattern. What is really to be considered is this orange count, which is basically this B wave top that I showed you on the daily time frame as well. It just looks different here on the smaller time frame because it's different wave degree, but it doesn't matter. The idea is that if we break below 47k, then we're going to revisit with a high likelihood that yellow support area that cannot be predicted or planned in advance. We literally would have to wait for the market to tell us. At the moment, as long as we're holding the relevant support levels, the focus is on higher prices. Okay, so that's typically what I do. Go with the trend, but try to use the Elliott waves and the technical analysis to understand when the trend changes, when the overall assumption changes. And that, yeah, as I said, that does not happen before breaking below 47K. So now let's take a look at the detailed structure here. It helps to go to the 30-minute chart for that. Literally boring, okay? But the market reacted to the nano support area I communicated yesterday. Highlighted to you that we can really only get a confirmation that the wave 4 or the C wave, let's say the C wave has started to the downside. If we see a break below 51,044, that would have been our signal level, because until that happens, it is technically possible that either we go up more directly as per the white microstructure we identified yesterday around the same time, a 5-wave pattern to the upside, not the most beautiful one, pretty ugly one, so I don't believe it. But it indicates that, hey, you know, the wave 4 might have finished here. This here could be a wave 1 to the upside. This could be a wave 2 to the downside. And we could do this 3, 4, 5. It would take a break, however, above the green line at 52,000. I think it's 840, 850. That green line, that high point that was formed on the 15th of February to confirm this wave count. Yeah, it takes a break above that level. And also, it's, I think, important to realize that, okay, we don't need to be in this bullish count just by holding support. It is possible that a triangle pattern is unfolding, so that this wave 4 will never visit the lower support region. Okay, it's just support, it's not a target. We visited this one. So it is possible that the wave 4, instead of going deep down, just it forms an extended sideways correction, and that would be a so-called triangle. I told you that we can consider a triangle further if we see a higher low and it's formed a higher low. So the next move up, if that's a lower high below 52,500, then we can consider further and confirm a triangle here. Yeah, and then it might just be one more leg down and the correction is over and off we go. Triangles would be, I've already added here these trend lines to visualize that it could be a triangle. So situation hasn't changed to yesterday. It still takes a break below 51,044 to confirm further that the wave C is unfolding to the downside. As long as we're holding it, we can keep the door open to higher prices, either more directly or first triangle completion and then up. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.